Dana White's Contender Series 2024, week number 6. This is the weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. I'm looking forward to talking about each of the matchups on this card after seeing the fighters on the scales. So make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn the post notifications on and make sure you share the video too. And also note, I will be live for the entire Contender Series fight card Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You don't want to miss the fight companion. I'm very excited for it. Let's get into the first fight on the card. We have Dylan Mantello versus Ahmed Hassanzada. Both guys are returning to Contender Series after losses. Mantello took an L last season. Hassanzada, I believe it was 2 seasons ago, he took an L. So good to see them both back. I'm going with Mantello. I'm going with New York's own. I'm going with the All-American. I feel like he can out-brawl Hassanzada and out-bang him a little bit on the feet because Hassanzada is getting dropped in every other fight. This dude is always hitting the damn canvas. Now, I don't know. Is he chinny? Maybe a tad. He got flatlined by Sadikov, but he's even getting dropped in these fights he's winning on the regional scene. Now, Mantello definitely gets hit too much, but he takes a good one on the chin, a better one than Hassanzada. Mantello has a very pressure striking based style, and he likes to throw hard punches, but he really is a bit slow. Even if you listen to the commentary from Money Moicano on his last fight, he was talking about how Mantello is not quick with his hands at all, but he cuts nice angles to get to the target. So he has relatively good precision, which makes up for his lack of speed. Now, like I said, he's hittable and he likes to bang. This could potentially give him an advantage, though, because if he's going shot for shot with Hassanzada, he definitely takes a better one on the chin. Now, he also does have a relatively good kicking game. I like his snapping body kicks, and he has a fun style to watch. On the ground, he's okay. I would say he's relatively decent with his grappling, not an elite level wrestler, but with that Longo Weidman Gym, Sarah Longo team, you know he has got a pretty decent grappling base because there's a lot of savages on the ground coming out of that area in New York. Now, Hassanzada on the other side trains with Team Alpha Male. He does have relatively good grappling, but he's very sloppy, and I think in all of the areas of fighting, he seems to at times like overextend himself out of position, whether it's the striking or the grappling. Now, he has finishes and he's on a win streak right now. You can see win here against Saglanani. He got hurt so bad in the first round though, and that dude's 10-5. And then the Chase and Blair fight, even had his back taken a bit and he ends up getting a damn knee bar, but the dude only had 4 pro fights. Now, Mantello on the other side, you can look at Nate Williams' flying knee knockout, and it's not like Nate Williams didn't hit him and have moments in the fight. He definitely did, but Mantello was in his face the whole time and slowly breaking him down. Mantello's loss was against Kainan Krucheski. He got choked out. He didn't tap, though. He just went flat to sleep. I don't think Hassanzada is that good. I feel like Mantello can outdog him. I feel like Hassanzada's chin is questionable. He's not a great wrestler. Mantello has a decent enough grappling game. I feel like Dylan Mantello can knock Hassanzada out. It wouldn't be mind-blowing if he rocked Hassanzada and subbed him up himself, but I do think a Mantello KO is pretty likely, seeing that Hassanzada has gotten beaten up in the past and KO'd in the past. And his fight right after Contender, he actually lost to Josh Streaker, and Streaker, a mid-tier journeyman type of fighter, dropped him too, was rocking him, outworked him, and then took a decision over him. Mantello's better than that. And Mantello is going to get a win over Ahmed Hassanzada here. Now, we can check out the scales. Mantello looking just as serious as last season. I had high hopes for him last year, and the hopes are much higher this year, though. I think he's going to go out there and perform well against a meh guy in Hassanzada who's scrappy and tough and likes to fight, but leaves a lot of openings, and I feel like Mantello is going to find the home to some clean shots, even with a bit of a lack of speed. I think he lacks speed. He don't necessarily need it here because Hassanzada has subpar defense. Both guys look solid on the scale. Hassanzada, he's got that crazy look in his eye, man. The dude is ready to kill coming out of Team Alpha Male. I will expect him to wrestle here. He might get Mantello down. but I'm not confident that Hassanzada controls for significant portions of time in this fight. You can look at the face-off. Mantello actually taller than him by a little bit, so not really worried about striking from range with Hassanzada. Ooh, and another thing that I didn't mention when we had the Tapology page up. Hassanzada has this bad habit of always throwing spinning back fists and like rarely landing. Maybe early in his career on the lower level scene, he got some spinning back fist KOs, but now he's missing a lot of them and it's literally leaving openings for fighters to take his back. It is an abysmal attack by him. He is not a spinning back fist maestro. I got to pop out this in. By no means should Hassanzada be Mr. Spinning back fist. Dylan Mantello is live to beat him, and I'm going to pick him to pull through. I think he's live for a KO. Now, if you're betting it, I don't think you got to go out and throw down on, a KO prop, because why not just touch a money line? You're sitting in the plus 122 to plus 145 range. I mean, you're getting solid bang for your buck. It's a dude in Mantello who is going to fight for your money. Even against freaking Krzyzewski, he didn't tap out. He went to sleep. He got choked out. It was brutal. He still banged with Krzyzewski on the feet, and he can eat a good shot. He definitely has a better chin than Hassanzada. Hassanzada, the minus 142 favorite. I don't see Ahmed Hassanzada with the tools for Mantello. Now, I think knockout is live. Going fight ends inside distance at minus 220. I think there's a high possibility of a finish in this fight. I'm going Mantello by KO at plus 325. But if maybe you're thinking, hey, Serra-Longo's teams normally got good jiu-jitsu. What if he subs up Hassanzada? That's plus 235. And another thing to note, Nazim Sadikov, Serra-Longo guy 2, has the win over Hassanzada on Contender Series 2 years ago. Hassanzada got brutally flatlined in the third round. Clean KO from a hook by Nazim Sadikov. I'm going with Mantello. He finds a way to pull through. He finds a way to win. I think he can get a UFC contract. Come on, man. The UFC, they want Mantello to thrive. They're close with the Serra-Longo team. And Mantello going out there, performing well, getting a knockout finish. I think he'll do work. And I think he'll get a contract. I'm going Dylan Mantello to chin Ahmed Hassanzada. And what could be a banger fight to start the night off? I just don't think Hassanzada's got the durability. And fighting somebody that also is the same size as him gives me more confidence that Mantello is going to chin him. So Dylan Mantello, knockout win. He's beating Ahmed Hassanzada for sure. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we have Yura Naito versus Ateba Gautier. I'm going with Gautier to win because he is a Cameroonian freak. Excuse my bias, okay? If I see that you are a fighter from Cameroon, I am going to give you a more in-depth look than I would for fighters from other regions because of Francis Ngannou, especially being a striker. Gautier is a terrifying kickboxer. He has incredibly dangerous kicks. The dude just can snap high kicks like a madman. And for as jacked as he is, crazy flexibility and speed on those high kicks. Now, he also has very good punching power, and he's looked like a monster in some of his wins. Does have one loss as a pro. He didn't look great in that fight. It was over 2 years ago against Glenn Williams. He fought a damn Wales native in Wales, and he lost the decision. I don't know. You go back and rewatch it. I think the fight could have went towards him, but I don't think he fought to his highest level of capability in that matchup. Granted, the dude that he fought had actually done like the IMAAFs. Like he'd fought at a very high level in amateur mixed martial arts. And even though it was, only the dude's pro debut, not like he was, an inexperienced martial artist. He had some fights under his belt just as an amateur. I think Gautier's got skills, especially his athleticism will make up for any potential lacking areas of technical capabilities. He also does compete in Sambo. He recently competed in the African Sambo Championship. He has a background in Muay Thai to go alongside of his freakish natural abilities. He has a good striking style. His footwork is nice, a good stance, seemingly decent takedown defense as well. Now, on the side of Yura Naito, you can't find a lot on him outside of highlight reels, and I don't like highlight reels. Remember Cavalcanti a few weeks ago? He took on KO, and KO beat him, and I picked him as a big underdog. Similar thing, right? Cavalcanti had all these highlights of him destroying opposition, but you didn't see a full fight. You didn't see what he looked like in bad spots, and he was a camp crusher. Naito, he is known for dangerous grappling, and trust me, he is going to look to get this fight to the ground. You don't want to sit and kickbox with Gautier. Very few fighters are going to stand and strike with him on this level. Now, I feel like Naito did showcase decent striking skills from what I've seen, and he's definitely a hyped up Japanese prospect right now with a good grappling base, very quick into takedowns, which is going to be interesting for Gautier to deal with somebody who's pretty efficient at getting to the legs. Something I liked about Gautier and watching some tape on him is even though he was taken down in a fight, his get-ups look solid and his physical strength will definitely aid in his ability to get up from compromising positions on the ground. So there are a lot of factors for Gautier that give me confidence that he can beat a Naito here. I am going to pick Gautier to find a knockout, even though Naito does have some KO wins, and I'd say he's a relatively good striker who actually looks kind of slick, and maybe against like a less specimen-y type of fighter, I'd be picking Naito. But against Ateba Gautier, I think Gautier's got the goods for him. So we're going Gautier to win. I think Gautier is going to go out there and find the knockout finish. I have faith in the skill set. I did the deep dive on Gautier training recently at Manchester top team. I believe he also was at Team Nogueira. I think that was Team Nogueira. It was in Dubai. I might be wrong on the Team Nogueira one. I'm 80% sure. But I'm 100% sure he was with Manchester top team. In the comments, you can see some teammates of him hyping him up. Like, I honestly feel like at 5-1, this dude has exceptional potential, and who knows where he could be in the next 2 years. Now, Naito is a decent prospect too, but I just think Gautier is a freak, and I'm going to go with the freak to get the win, and we're going to look at the scales, okay? We're going to see. Naito, I mean, he's got some abs. Somehow, Naito, if you cover his abs, you would think he's obese. Like, just cover the screen, cover his abs, and look at his face. It looks like he's eating too much sushi, bro. I know the sushi's good in Japan, bro. I understand, bro. You get yourself the different rolls from over there. You get a little salmon, you know what I'm saying? A little spicy, some super crunchy rolls. I get it. Naito actually did cut down on the carbs a tad, but whatever's left over from the years of sushi, my God, the cheeks are swollen up. He looks a lot fatter than his stomach. Like, it looks like he's got fat arms, fat face, and abs somehow. Very weird. Almost like Oscar De La Hoya, who got the fucking ab surgery. That's funny as hell. Holy shit, Naito. Oh my gosh. It does look cool, though, with the blonde hair. And then you have this specimen. Then you have this absolute freak. This dude does not look human. The Cameroonian genetics hit different, bro. I'm telling you, he comes from the same place as Francis Ngannou. That country, these dudes are made out of steel. And I think he's got bright future and potential, man. There's the face-off. I mean, just look at the freakish difference in muscularity. And Naito is going to look to grapple. And something you take into consideration sometimes with grapplers is look at the muscularity of the back. Look at the difference. Is Naito going to be able to hold Gautier down? I don't think so. Maybe he could slide to his back very quickly and choke him out. He better do just that. Because if he's caught up in a striking position, he is going to get KO'd. I'm going with Gautier. I got faith in the Cameroonian. I'm going with the freakish genetic specimen. And he's an underdog. Are these correct? Bovada has him at plus 145? No way. Minus 103. Over at BetOnline makes a lot more sense. Naito minus 117. So slight underdog in Gautier. He did open at plus 140, but I think that's before anybody looked into this dude. He's a menace to society. The dude is a fucking force to be reckoned with. How am I going to pick against him? Naito's got decent jiu-jitsu. He's slick. Like, Naito's good. But I think Gautier might have that special thing, that genetic specimen inside. Looking at an over 1.5 is minus 170. Under plus 140. I'm thinking finish. I'm thinking fight ends inside distance at minus 210. Gautier inside distance is plus 190. Gautier by a KO plus 200. You're better off just go inside distance. What if he somehow choked him out? Naito to win by submission is plus 300. I think Gautier fights off the grappling attempts from Naito. I think he unloads some terrifying punches and kicks. And I think he's going to knock out the Japanese prospect. Not to knock the Japanese fighters at all, but good middleweights coming from Japan? Not really. If you were flyweight, it's a different conversation. Even lightweight, different conversation. I just think Ateba Gautier has got the goods. And training at a good team now, Manchester top team, this dude is going to be way better than what you saw in this fight, right? He's going to look more like he looked here. I mean, shit, knocking out De Souza. I know De Souza's a kind of Brazilian can, but the dude dropped him with like one shot. He's an absolutely terrifying striker, I'm telling you. And he is way better than he was 2 years ago. I promise you, Gautier has got something special, and I'm picking him to win emphatic fashion. Knockout, UFC contract, and I think he's going to be a highly touted prospect. Ateba Gautier for the W. Next fight on the card, we have Benjamin Bennett versus Joey Hart. I'm going with Joey Hart, but there is a small piece of me that does worry about how he looks in the grappling entanglements with somebody who has a pressure wrestling based attack. Benjamin Bennett is pretty experienced. He's got a lot of amateur experience and a lot of pro experience, and he's well-rounded. Joey Hart just has that slick and special striking style where I think he could find the kill shot against Bennett, especially Bennett being significantly shorter than him. Now, looking at it, Bennett is definitely well-rounded, but favors the grappling. He has a good pressure wrestling style, but he also has amateur boxing experience, and his hands work pretty nicely as a high and tight guard. He's got a patient pressure attack. He finds combination shots pretty nicely. I would say he's a clean striker on the feet, and definitely not one to be underestimated in the striking at all. But ultimately, Bennett does not have the Joey Hart slickness, nor the Joey Hart Muay Thai. Joey Hart is a really long striker who has very nasty clinch work. And if you look, Bennett's only loss as a pro, he was kneed in the face. He was knocked out by the tall Trey Waters. Similar frame with Joey Hart in this fight. But I will tell you this, I think Joey Hart is more precise and more accurate than Trey Waters. Joey Hart's a special prospect. The worry is, though, Joey Hart could be very subpar in grappling. He does have some wins by submission. He has a lot of amateur fights, so I will assume he has quality jiu-jitsu. But the worry would be Benjamin Bennett putting a pressure wrestling attack on him, gassing him out, and I don't know, maybe it looking like the Sean O'Malley fight, because Hart has that Peyton Talbot, Sean O'Malley flow in the way that he strikes. It's exceptional. If it's effective, he's getting a UFC contract and he is going to get a crazy push. But Benjamin Bennett's not some slouch. The dude trains at elevation, okay? He's with Neil Magny. He's got pictures with Gaethje. Like, he's training with quality opposition. I just think Joey Hart has that special prospect thing. Benjamin Bennett's a talented fighter. He's good. He's gritty. He's tough. But Joey Hart is special. Joey Hart has got the rub, the lucky rub. I'm telling you, he's Mr. Hitman, Joey Hitman Hart, Bret Hitman Hart. Like, we need a hitman in the UFC. He's got a good nickname, and he's got a cool style. He's precise as hell with his striking. He's got 6 wins, all via knockout. And Benjamin Bennett wasn't that impressive against Luis Nguyen. Like, he beat him. He put some pressure on him with striking. He failed on some takedown attempts, got some, but, like, it was not an impressive win for him. Whereas Joey Hart literally sends everybody he fights to the shadow realm. Granted, he did get touched a bit by Tyler Scott, who's a dangerous striker, but then he brutally finished him with a knee in the clinch. And if we're in the clinch, Benjamin Bennett is in trouble, man. If he's failing on takedowns and he's caught up striking with Joey Hart, he is going to get destroyed. I'm going to go with Joey Hart to find the knockout win. I'm going to have faith in the elusive and slick striking as well as the precision to take out a gritty and hard-nosed Alaskan. Looking at the scales, Benjamin Bennett, blonded up, looks in great shape, respect to him. Joey Hart, looking like Alex Caceres, to be honest with you. I mean, Peyton Talbot, Alex Caceres blend, that's 100% this guy right here. He seems like he was cloned or something like that. He looks a lot like Bruce Leroy. If you told me he's related to Alex Caceres, I'd 100% believe it. I wouldn't doubt it for a second. There's the face-off, and what do you notice? A relatively large height difference. Now, I don't like the fucking chest indent here. That makes me worry about Joey Hart's cardio later in fights with that indented chest. It could be a worry. I don't know. Edmund Shabazian has it. Granted, he's gotten some sick knockouts, but I don't know. It makes you questionable disability for him. But I'm going with Joey Hart to pick his shots nicely, to ultimately find the kill shot. And I think he's putting Benjamin Bennett to sleep. I think we got an emphatic knockout, a sick win, a violent fight, a badass performance, and a UFC contract waiting for him. And I think also a push by the UFC too. I just have a feeling, man. This is the guy they want. Joey Hart is an ever so slight favorite at -115. Benjamin Bennett, the -105 dog. I'm going with the Joey Hart KO. Looking at under 1.5 is +190. Interesting, man. Could definitely go under with Hart's finishing abilities. Hart by KO at +170. Joey Hart's precise. Benjamin Bennett looks to wrestle. He fails on some takedowns. He's in deep trouble in the clinch. He's in trouble from the outside. I don't care about the experience in boxing. I don't care about the experience as an amateur. Joey Hart also matches an amateur experience. And I just simply think he's way more dangerous than Bennett. I'm going with Joey Hart. I'm going with violent knockout. And I'm going with you better keep an eye on this dude. I am very excited. Hitman Hart for the knockout. Let's jump to the co-main event of the evening. We have Talison Teixeira versus Arthur Lopes. I'm going with Talison Teixeira all day. He should absolutely destroy Arthur Lopes in a fight that isn't even close. You want to know why? Arthur Lopes is a former welterweight, dude. What are we doing? Talison Teixeira is 6'8", 259 pounds. He has an 81-inch reach. Does have a jiu-jitsu black belt, but at this point, I'd say he's known for his knockout abilities. Does have a relatively good striking skill set. Seems a little sloppy at times, but nice enough on the feet. I don't know. He's got okay takedown defense. He's got a stiff jab. I feel like at times he looks kind of sloppy, but he's super young, and he's also super huge at 6'8", and he's taking on a guy that just doesn't fight often. The dude has one fight since 2018. Arthur Lopes, he has fought one fight since 2018. Dropped the dude in one punch and ground and pounded him. 20 seconds, okay? Before that, he had some wins, and he had a little streak going. In a 2018 fight, he got a DQ win. He was beating the dude up, then he got illegally upkicked. And dude, that was a lightweight fight. That's what I'm trying to say. Welterweight fight. This dude is fighting at heavyweight, and he's coming in at 218 because he's not a heavyweight. At best, Lopes is a middleweight. He's a former welterweight that showed up fat. This is going to be about as lopsided a fight as you can get. If Teixeira loses this fight, oh my gosh, he's deleted from the UFC's watch list, yo. They are giving him an absolute tune-up. Like, Arthur Lopes just pops out of nowhere. He just gets a shot on the Contender Series against some Brazilian from LFA who's 6'8", that they're trying to build. Like, Arthur Lopes doesn't seem like he really exists, bro. He seems like some NPC they just brought in. Former welterweight. What the hell are we doing? There is Arthur Lopes. He looks like Jorgen De Castro, to be honest. Like, twin of Jorgen De Castro. Well, bro, he actually looks a little like Steve Urkel, though. A little Steve Urkel flair in the face. A little Jorgen De Castro flair in the physique. A little bit chubby. The dude's a welterweight. What are we talking about? What are we doing? And then Talison Teixeira. I mean, he's not, in great shape, but he's 6'8". Does it really matter? And then there's the face-off. You can see pretty clear-cut disadvantage in the height. I mean, Lopes is kind of tall. Teixeira is like freakishly tall, though. Both guys have body fat, but like the weight difference is crazy. 218 to 259. He's given up 41 pounds. That's a lot, yo. Lopes could easily be fighting at 185. He is not a heavyweight, but he's taken this massive chance. Respect to him. But let's be real. Like, let's keep it 100. He is about as opponent as you can get on this show. -725 for Teixeira. Lopes +525. I'll tell you this. From what I saw of tape on Lopes, he does have some knockout power. Maybe Teixeira has to showcase grappling. He gets Lopes down. I don't know exactly how good Lopes is going to be on the floor. Teixeira inside distance, minus 500. A knockout's minus 275. A submission plus 475. Lopes comes out kind of crazy, though. I could see a world where Lopes is throwing like wild, awkward bombs. Teixeira times a takedown, gets his back, and strangles him. It is big plus money for the sub. Now, I'm not telling you it's a lock or anything. I mean, Teixeira by KO is probably what's going to happen, but Lopes might be tricky on the feet, and then Teixeira might have to showcase grappling. It's a big I don't know, because Lopes is literally crushing cans, and he's fought once since 2018. I'm telling you, this is like randomly appeared. He's like an industry plant. Hey, this is the showcase fight for Teixeira. Maybe he comes and fucks things up, and he's got the same nickname as Michel Pereira, Demilador. That's interesting. I'm going with Taliesin Teixeira, 6'8". He should win this fight. The dude's being built up for sure. The UFC wants a 6'8" Brazilian on the roster. I'm not so sure, though, that he can take it to the top. I question his skills. I question his skills big time. But I'd say he's relatively good. Relatively. Not incredible. Relatively good. Potential, sure. Amazing skills, no. Impressive right now, The competition is mid. Fighting two guys with the same last name, both at 2-1. He beat them, cool. He's held against the cage alone at 415, right? Can crusher, for sure. And I don't think Arthur Lopes, though, is anything more than a can crusher either, who just, has had one fight in the past 6 years. Teixeira should win. Better win. Main event of the evening. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. This is a dope bantamweight fight. Aaron Tao versus Elijah Smith. Holy shit, this is good. I'm going with Elijah Smith. I'm actually really excited to have Elijah Smith get a chance to fight. Now, if you don't know, Gilbert Smith is his dad. If you were watching The Ultimate Fighter back in the day, he was actually on the season with Chael Sonnen and John Jones as the coaches. He was on Team Jones. Gilbert Smith was in the UFC as well as fighting on The Ultimate Fighter. And he actually was on that Ultimate Fighter like comeback season where they brought the veterans back too. Now, this is his son though. And a lot of times, the sons of fighters that didn't quite make it in sport in general tend to be significantly better as opposed to the sons of fighters who did make it. Like Ryan Couture, for example, who, kind of faded into oblivion. His dad was a damn world champion. I think Elijah Smith is a special talent. He's incredibly slick in the striking department, very precise, nice check left hook, very God-given gift of power, freak athlete. Like I'm telling you, it seems like he just has insane natural athleticism and explosiveness. 10 out of 10, well-timed takedowns. I think he's got a good wrestling game, which is a needed skill set to deal with Aaron Tao. Tao is a city kickboxing fighter, and you can see it from the way he holds his hands with that slickster stance, right? But he is much more of a pressure-based fighter who's incredibly physically strong. He's actually got good reflexes too. Nice head movement. Weaves shots well. Very tough, man. Holy shit, he's tough. Good physical strength and a habit of slamming opponents. Now, recently he fought Paul Loga. If you guys don't know who Paul Loga is, anybody from the Australia-New Zealand region has to get through him to fight on the damn Contender Series or in the UFC. We saw it with Urseg. We're seeing it with Tao. We saw it with damn Shannon Ross. And we saw it with, I think, the name's escaping me. But we saw it with somebody else who fought in this season too. But Aaron Tao fought Paul Loga, who is like a cult savage 2 years ago. Paul Loga touched him up with some good punches though early. But Tao's just made out of steel, was able to overwhelm and then eventually finish him off. Tao's a finisher, but for the most part, he is a can crusher. Elijah Smith, Josh Walker, who's 8-1, knocked him out viciously. Okay, Jacob Credo's mid. Robert Trujillo was 5-0, and he literally dominated Trujillo in the wrestling. If you don't know, Trujillo was actually in Power Slap. So if he is a familiar name, he was on Power Slap. I thought that was funny. Then Choppa, that was actually a good fight. He dominated it, but he beat Choppa. And Choppa's a good prospect, even though he's got a bad record right now. I think he looks like he's got potential, but that's besides the point. In the loss was against Reyes Cortez. He came into the Reyes Cortez fight at 2-0. Reyes Cortez fought C-Rod on the damn Contender Series, and then he jumped in to fight him. Like, that was way too much of a step up in competition. After Elijah Smith lost to Reyes Cortez, Cortez went and lost to Peyton Talbot. He went the distance, though. That was way too much of a competition jump then. Now, Elijah Smith has evolved, and I would say now, Elijah Smith is ready for the big time. He's ready for the chance of a lifetime. He's ready for the UFC. Aaron Tao's a gamer. Aaron Tao's a savage, but he's not Elijah Smith. Elijah Smith is taking home a massive W, and I'm damn excited to see what goes down between these two. So I'm going with Elijah Smith. I think he can find precise shots, potentially knock out Tao. But if he has to mix in wrestling and Tao tries to wrestle with him, I think he will be surprised by the resistance from Smith, but even the offense from Smith too. Smith has just got the goods, man. I think Elijah Smith is a really bright prospect to watch. He's got potential. We'll look at the scales for a second. There's Elijah Smith coming in, shredded, on weight, looking good. He looks ready. On the other side, we got Tao, who looks like a sadistic psycho. He's got that traditional Mari face tattoo. Damn, he looks crazy as hell. That face tat is insane. And then you got the face off between these two, and Tao did the Mari thing, the crazy dance. The dance, I'm sorry, I don't know the name. If you're Mari, let me know in the damn comments. I want to know. I forget it. And I think Elijah Smith is ready for the chaos. I mean, Tao's at a good gym, though. Trains with Eugene Behrman. Holy shit, he's shredded and jacked. Look at the shoulder veins with no pump either. That's insane. Both guys are fucking conditioned. Both guys have bright futures. I just think Elijah Smith is different. Tao's good, but like Elijah Smith is different. I have faith in him. I'm going Elijah Smith to pull through. He is a minus 230 favorite, which I'll actually agree with the odds. Tao coming in at plus 195. Now, no, Smith is coming in as a short notice replacement, but with these guys fighting at the, lower level, you better be ready to turn up at all times. Probably over 1.5 because Tao is so tough. I don't think a dude with that face tattoo can go down easy. But I do think a knockout is live for Elijah Smith, man. Smith by KO plus 150 is not a great line. If he goes out and wins a decision, it's 275 for Smith. I'm going with Elijah Smith to find a way. Elijah Smith to earn a UFC contract. I think he's a special prospect. Tao's an absolute gangster, and he's good for sure. And you will eventually see Tao in a big spot in a damn potential Contender Series 2025 type position. I just think Elijah Smith is too good for him. I don't know. The hands are smooth. I don't mean I don't know like I don't know. I'm just saying like, wow, like I'm impressed by this kid. Slick boxing, good wrestling, well-rounded, seems to be fine-tuned everywhere. And the fact that his dad got to the UFC but never got a UFC win and also, lost on a damn Ultimate Fighter season, 2 Ultimate Fighter seasons. He wants to do it for the fam. And I think Elijah Smith has got the perfect mix of skills to thrive inside of this bantamweight division. So give me Elijah Smith to take out Aaron Tao in the main event. Those are the Contender Series picks for this week. But I'm not done yet because I do want to talk about some Contender Series parlays. This card seems dog heavy to me. Mantello, underdog play. Gautier, underdog play. Now, Teixeira should win. Maybe you're going inside distance Teixeira. Then you got Joey Hart, Benjamin Bennett. I'm kind of thinking chill. Elijah Smith, Mantello for a little plus money, I think makes sense. I think Mantello's beaten Hassanzada. Now, if you want to risk it, like a Gautier, Mantello, and Elijah Smith, but I will tell you straight, this card is a little bit better for money lines or potentially prop betting. Like maybe you're going Mantello inside distance or Gautier by KO, right? Or you're going Teixeira as a D-Gen submission bet or a knockout prop, maybe mixed in with a parlay with Elijah Smith down the money line. The Bennett Hart fight is maybe going over 1.5, but I would be worried on betting an over 1.5, specifically in a parlay, because of the danger factor with Joey Hart knockout ability. I think he can get a KO. Hart's live for a knockout too. With the Contender Series parlays, you got to bet it cautiously. 2-leg, Mantello, Elijah for some big plus money, right? And you start your night with Mantello. Let's say things don't go well with Mantello. Then you can reassess, go Elijah Smith, Teixeira, and maybe you're putting Gautier. Maybe you have a feeling that one fight's going over. I'm not telling you what to do. What I'm telling you to do is do your own damn research, because for me, the parlay that jumped out was Smith and Mantello. If I want to add more, you go Teixeira inside distance. Or Teixeira, maybe you think the KO, but there's no money to be made on it, right? You're kind of fucked there. So you want to chase the submission because Lopes might have dangerous striking and could potentially get choked out by the black belt. I also think Ateba wins. So, like, if you want to be a straight D-gen, Ateba, Mantello, Teixeira, and freaking Elijah Smith. This Joey Hart fight's a more worrisome bet because I know Bennett is game AF, and if Hart can't stop those takedowns, I think he could be trouble. So my more confident calls versus like a call that I think is going to come through, but I have a little bit of fear on it. Overall, parlays, be intelligent. I think the 2-fighter parlays are money for Contender Series. And I think if you're attacking bets, man, you got good money lines to make. These are like, what, 3 out of the 5 are very money lineable. 1 chalky call on Elijah Smith, and then 1 absolute fucking you better prop bet it or just put it in a 3-leg parlay with Teixeira. But I think you can cash nicely. If you want to just play it safe, Teixeira and Smith, but you ain't even going to get plus money for that. Those are the parlays that I'm thinking. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Contender Series breakdown. Be cautious with your bets and please do your own research if you are betting, especially if you're throwing heat down. You got to back yourself up. Don't just blindly tell. If you're just throwing a little bit down, different. But if you're really betting, you need to do your own research and see where your research matches mine for the highest likelihood of success, because I want to see you guys succeed. Thank you guys for watching. Smash the like button. If you're new, subscribe, and definitely let me know what you thought in the comments down below. If you got nothing to say in the comments, but you just enjoy the content, as always, drop a W in the chat to boost the algorithm for your boy. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Much love to the people. Big W's to you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.